Hi, hi. Today I will show you PT align tool, which is part of percona-toolkit, which is very helpful in formatting the output into clear columns. So it actually accepts input in two different ways. One is either through either you can give the files as file names as input to the tool, or you can pipe the output of a file or a commands output and then give that as an input to the pt-align command. So let's look at how it actually works. So the tool actually parses the input and splits each line into words, and then it counts the number of words in each line. So whichever number predominates, it will assume that many number of words are there in each line. So it will only take those lines which have that many number of words, and then it will discard other lines and it will print in a column format. Let's look at, so I have file 1. If we actually give this as an input, it will display the contents of that file in a clear column wise format. Similarly, if you look at file 2, you can see the values of the columns are in a zigzag fashion, not clearly aligned to the headers. So you can just give that as an input, so it will display that in a column wise format. So like I said, it will count the number of rows, and then whichever number predominates, it'll take that many number of words are there, and it will take only those lines. So you can clearly see that from this. Also look at file 4. So these two are actually having different words in each lines. So let's look at how it actually, if you give file 4, you see that so lines which contain two words are more than other lines. So it has taken only those lines and then printed in column format. Similarly, if you give 3, it will also do the same thing. It actually removed the line, this line. So it is very useful in cases where you have system metrics, and then you wanted to look at those metrics in a column wise format. For example, the best example to give is vmstat. So if you actually look at vmstat in production systems, the values will be very high and you will not be able to clearly map which values belongs to which header. So in that type of situations, I mean, this tool is very useful. So if you see this, so like I said, we can just give the output of a command as an input, and then it will just format it. So like this, it will format it in a clear way. So you can also give all the files if you want in a single shot. So like this, it will actually format, it will take the input from all the files, the contents of all the files, and then does the job. Or either you can give either you can give files as input like this, or you can pipe the output of a file like this, or you can, if you don't give anything, it will actually expect the input from stdin. standard input. So you can just Control D. If you do, it has displayed only these lines. So like that, we can use PT align to align the output in a clear format. If you want to actually look at the documentation for this particular tool, you can just use Perl Doc. It will actually give us the document. We can just actually read through the actual documentation, what it actually does and what options it has. So that's how we can actually look at the documentation for it. We don't have to go to the web and check for the documentation. We can just use Perl Doc PT align. It will give us the documentation for description of that particular tool of percona-toolkit.